My name is Molly Fenton. I would probably call myself a women's health advocate. My main thing I do, I started the Love Your Period campaign almost 6 years ago, really at the time to start conversations around periods, menstruation, puberty. We've got around 75 people that have done volunteering bits to be part of this community. Ages 12 is the youngest and 87 is the oldest. Acting like the big sister that many of us wish that we'd had, being young people in school, because I was in education at the time, trying to be a really good pupil whilst dealing with difficult periods. My brain tumour affects my pituitary gland, which is the home of the hormones, which meant that my symptoms were hormone based. I was spotting by 5-6 years old. All these things that we don't even realise that hormones can be related to, because they are your whole body. It's not just sex hormones and reproductive systems. It drives a lot of the work that I do, because had I had some of those conversations, then maybe things would have been a little bit easier to navigate, even if I couldn't stop them. The first time I had my period, I didn't know what it was. I was 8 years old and it was very scary, and I was in year 3, so I just moved to junior school. My period was a very big shock to me. That probably always subconsciously drove Love Your Period. I think I needed to do a bit kind of like personally and within myself to kind of accept the situation and, you know, be able to say I have a brain tumour, because when I started Love Your Period, the words brain tumour, I couldn't say them, I didn't say them, they made me upset, we didn't talk about them, but the campaigning has counteracted that. And even if it was unintentional at first, now I realise it. The kind of like, this is a really, really bad experience. It's given me awful health anxiety. I feel very much out of control of my health. But starting conversations around that can be really, really positive, and making sure people feel seen and heard is something I can do. We can help each other, and that's where that big sister ethos came in. If it can help one other person, get them to a GP, get them to a doctor, help them feel a bit more, again, in control of their health, then at least we're doing something positive with it. My sister is 5 years younger than me, so the fact that she was able to get up and say what I needed to say, but either didn't have the energy or the mental brain capacity to even think of, being able to have that was completely invaluable, not just to me, but to my parents, to my medical team. She was at the centre of it all, and it was magical. And I thank a lot of my positive health and being here today because of Tilly. She's been incredible. My younger sister, having that advocate, I was able to personally live. So being able to use that in a light of empathy, you know, sympathy is amazing and having it is a great attribute, but empathetic activism it's got a special power to it. That even locally around me, I've seen that provide that person to be with you, to advocate for you, or whether it's someone there that literally holds your hand or doesn't even hold your hand and just sits in the corner of the room, knowing that there's one person that's hearing you and one person that's listening to you can be the most life-changing thing. I'm aware I'm very lucky that I have my sister to do that for me. If you've got a physical health problem or you're trying to get help and you feel like you're being dismissed, that is bound to have an impact on you mentally or emotionally. And we hear, especially in menstrual health, the difficulty people go through and the stories of people with menstrual health conditions, whether that be because of heavy bleeding and pain, or being dismissed and being turned away and having to wait years and years where their quality of life is deteriorating. Trust your gut, trust yourself. If you know there's something wrong with your body, no one can tell you that that's not the case. Keep pushing for these things. If you're finding that tiring, have an advocate. It doesn't matter whether that's your next door neighbour that you trust, someone in your family. People think, oh, 16-year-olds can't do anything. I know some 16-year-olds with medical conditions like mine that are on it. They are really on it. They put me to shame, and I'm thinking, gosh, we talk about gut health, we talk about mental health. These are things that are massively growing. You know, we hear a thing about stem cell registers and blood donation. And I think that has started to make people realise, oh, we should probably talk about blood. But blood health, have we gone that far? I feel like that's a great next step, because those one-on-one conversations that you'd have with your friends in the coffee shop are sometimes where most of that change happens. So let's try it.